So welcome to the last travel perspective session for today. We've got three more tomorrow, but this session is always one of our most popular. It's where we look at some of the up-and-coming startups. One of the startups who's going to be presenting today was asking if any of the previous entrants for this have gone on to become a unicorn. I don't think, probably Timothy's the one to ask this. I don't think we've had a unicorn, have we? We have had some interesting partnerships come through, I think, and some interesting ideas, but I think there was some discussion at WTM yesterday about how it's really only people like Uber and Airbnb who've actually really made it in the travel space. I don't know whether you agree with that or not, but hopefully some of the ones who are going to be here today are going to turn into those future unicorns. So just to give you a quick update of how it works, we have 5 companies who are pitching to us, 5 startups. They each have 5 minutes to talk about their proposition. We have an esteemed panel of judges from the far side, Timothy O'Neill-Dunn of VaultPad, Andy Owen-Jones of the startup BD4 Travel, and Carl Pill of Ticketing Hub, and many other entrepreneurial companies previous to that. So we've got lots of experience here, people who've been through this themselves, and in Timothy's, somebody who's invested in these sorts of companies. So hopefully they'll have a good take on what they hear today. So they're going to be marked, each of the companies, on a number of issues. So the concept, the ability of the team to deliver, the financial model, and the customer acquisition strategy. And so they'll be giving points for that, and they'll go off and discuss that afterwards very briefly. And while they're off, I want you to interact as well, to give an audience vote. That's not going to actually affect the outcome, but it'd just be nice to see what you think about the people who are pitching today. And the winner, who will be announced at the end of the session, gets a very nice prize. They get some incubator space from our London and partners in the Travel Tech Lab, where Andy has been a resident for a while, and also some mentoring as well. So I think it's a really, really good prize for this. So without any further ado, I'd like to invite our first company, our first victim, perhaps I should call him, Jeremy Catez of BWake. If you could come to the stage.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeremy Catez, and I'm one of the co-founder of BWake. And first, thanks WTM for having this event, and you guys for sticking around. It's still kind of late, but I'm sure we will have able to share some great information today. I spent my last 10 years working in the hospitality industry, overseeing revenue management and distribution. And I can tell you that I've seen our industry becoming low cost because of the growth of sharing economy websites as online travel agency. And if we continue like that, this is going to happen. The hotel industry will collapse because of the profitability which is becoming affected. But we all know, and you all know, that when there is an issue, there is a solution. And usually the solution is to go back to basic. And there is a thing that you have been doing fantastically in a hotel, is welcoming the guest. Welcoming the guest in your hotel for overnight business, whether they're here to work, relax, meet, or sleep. But let me ask you a question. The hotel industry, as I just mentioned, focuses on overnight business. But is there anybody who have an idea of how many people every year are looking for daytime space? The answer, 450 million people every year are looking for daytime space. And some of them is to work, some of them is to meet, some of them is to relax, to take a shower, whatever they need it for. But the hotel industry is not yet ready for it. So 30% of the domestic flights in the US are for day trip. And in just a couple of years, 50% of the workforce will be freelancing. Are you ready for it? On the other hand, in 2014, Smith Travel Research reported that 2.2 billion rooms remain unsold every year. And we all know that an unsold room has a cost and does not generate revenue. Well, with BWake, you have the capacity to match your offer of unused vacant square space to this growing demand. And let's have a look at BWake. This is our website that we just released a couple of weeks ago, and as you can see, you're able to rent a room for a couple of hours during the day here in central London. The Oxton for £99. and just book instantly and show up at the property. This is really a brand new thing that's happening in the hotel industry. This is our application too, because our main targets are the corporate travelers. So this is a screen, search and result screen, and you can see what's happening. You can select the time that you're looking for, the time of space that you're also looking for, meeting rooms, sleeping rooms, co-working space. And with a funny wheel, you'll be able to also select the time frame that you're looking for. And just show up at the property, how easy it is. We value this market at $19 billion. So you're already selling your overnight business with fantastic partners such as Expedia, Booking.com, Hotel Tonight. But now, you can sell your daytime space on Bewaked. And the good thing is, it will directly impact your business. Why? Because Bewake is 100% incremental revenue. You're not selling your daytime space, but we will help you to do it. So it's a new stream of revenue. It will help you to boost your RevPAR, because we're going to be looking at another clientele, and you're going to be able to even double book your space, double sell it during the day and during the night. And of course, you will improve guest satisfaction and guest experience, because you'll reach out to a new clientele, these nomad people who are very flexible and looking for always new things, new place to go. This is an example of a hotel we have been partnering for the last couple of months in New York. And it has been a tremendous partner. They've been able to generate 26,000 extra incremental revenue by just selling the daytime space, and also even increasing the F&B revenue as well as overnight revenue, because sometimes guests just at the end want to spend the night in the property. So this is Bewake. I think it's time for you, hotel, to react, and it's time for you to partner with Bewake before someone else to cover. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Jeremy, and thank you for keeping within the time as well. You didn't have the trapdoor opening underneath you,
no.
as normally happens. We're going to have one or two questions quickly from the judges asking about your presentation.
Absolutely.
They've all had a look at your background material before this session as well, so hopefully there'll be informed questions as well. So I don't know if one of you has got one question or two questions that want to ask.
Yeah, I like the app and so on. What I found was there wasn't much content on. What's your content acquisition strategy?
So our content acquisition strategy will be through social media, will be through blogging. I guess that's what we're going to be really going after users.
But your content, how are you going to get more rooms? What's your
to acquire. Oh, I'm sorry. So we start with a very simple acquisition, which is just calling hotel, going through chain, going through management company. But we understand also that we need to be able to scale the business. And its industry scaling the business will be through connectivity. So we already have signed one connectivity agreement with one channel manager, and we in talk with further discussion with other channel manager and Switch.
Do either of you guys have a burning question? Carl? No? Yes?
I had the same question about the onboarding and acquisition, because you're going to have a lot of cost and API integrations with every single supplier.
Yes.
How do they have to change their API to basically fit yours? Because their kind of room management is one day. How does that work, and is it big business for them?
No, to be honest, it's not. We thought in the beginning that it was really a challenge for us, but I think there is a lot of way to tweak around, to work with the virtual inventory, to assign a run-of-house room type, and just to create one-time slots. So it was, to be honest, a fairly simple integration that we have done with one channel manager, and it was not a lot of technical change either from the channel manager as well as from the hotel.
So if it's not a big change, does that mean that the reservation system can actually build the same thing as you, and then propagate it through all the distribution channels?
I think they can, and I'm not sure, but I don't think that their main focus right now. I don't think that's what they prefer to have it handled by a third party, because it's still a fairly new market that they don't really know also.
Great. Thank you for that, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Your time's up, so good luck with that.
Thank you.
If I can now ask Francesco Canzoniere from Bookling to take the stage while the judges just jot down their thoughts.
Hello, everybody. Today we are going to talk about a problem which is affecting hoteliers, most of hoteliers all over the world, and which is basically that their dependency on...
Francesco, could you just move closer to the microphone?
Yes,
I think people can't hear.
Basically, their dependency on online travel agencies such as Booking.com, Expedia, and so on is increasing. And also, this is because OTAs, such as Booking.com, are doing a very good job at selling their rooms, even better than most of hotel websites. And obviously, this is going to affect their distribution costs, because if OTAs are taking a higher share of their sales, basically their costs are going up as well. So how can we solve this problem? How we can protect hoteliers to defend their profits? Well, the idea came from a talk I had with some of the senior, most important executives at the Booking.com that invited me to take part in a selection for the role of owner of data science at Booking.com, which is one of the 3 most important departments. And from this talk, I understood where it really made sense for Booking.com and other OTAs to go, and what made sense for hoteliers to do right now in order to defend their profits in the future. And that's why I had to count on a very strong team, and that's why I invited Gianluca and Raffaele to create a team with a lot of knowledge, experience, and passion. And we start with an idea of, well, if the customer comes to the hotel website and it doesn't like what is seeing as prices and the offers, and he leaves, well, we intercept in real time this intention of leaving the website, and we generate a special promotion just for him by understanding his profile, his intention, what he's really looking for. And we apply this promotion with no effort for him. We apply the code without having him to go and to take code, apply the code, start again the search, and all this stuff, which is very annoying. So yes, how we know that this is really a concrete, a real interesting offer for him? Because we get all kind of data as we can, and we generate this profile in real time. And not only this, but we all intervene when the customer is of interest for the hoteliers. If the hoteliers doesn't want to retain this kind of customer because it's full, there's plenty of availability for the searches he's doing, well, we don't intervene. And this obviously is working very well, is increasing a lot of the conversion rate of our customers, and also is also allowing us to grow, to get a growing number of customers, to generate revenue, because we are already generating revenues. And we also reached a new tipping point where we can personalize every single touch point of the booking experience. Because the booking experience is complex, and what should we expect just to act when he wants to leave? We can also engage him, and we can do a lot of stuff, which like a smart surveys asking why he's not booking, or things like that. And the travel experience. So the travel experience is long, so we don't have to just wait for abandoning, but we can do a lot of more stuff in order to engage and retain him. And as you see, like in every stage, a customer can have a different profile. It is completely different to compare someone that is looking at your prices and leaves than someone who gets to the final stage, well, he has to put the credit card and leaves. So for every stage, why do you want to offer the same stuff? Why do you want to communicate in the same way? So Booking allows hoteliers to communicate, to change in every stage, in every moment, the communication, replicating what it was made before at reception, negotiating, dynamic negotiation, smart negotiation. And so this is the second phase of Booking. We hope you will like it and join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesco, for keeping to time as well. Timothy, do you have a question on this?
Yes, what's your customer acquisition process for this?
Well, basically, we do a 30 days free trial. So there is no risk for the hotelier. We basically integrate with any reservation system. They don't have to do any effort to just put a JavaScript code like Google Analytics.
Yes, but isn't this going to take you a long time to acquire that number of hotels?
No, really, no. Because basically, we are at the beginning. For making an integration, we spent like 1 week. Now we are very, very quick on this step. Even with a completely new reservation system, we can make an integration in 1 day, if it's complicated, or even a half day. And then if you share the same system, it's in a couple of minutes. Well, half an hour, we can add another hotel that has a reservation system that has been already integrated. So the first time is 1 day for this reservation system. But if the reservation system has 3,000 clients, for the other 3,000 clients, we just in just 20 minutes we get a new hotel inside, or a new chain, or whatever.
Do you have a question, Andy?
And what's your commercial model?
We have basically we are selling personalization, so we try to stick on this concept of personalizing the offer. We have 3 different models, basically. One is commission-based. The other one is mixed between fixed and commission-based, because hoteliers most of the times like to have the provider engaged with the results. Okay, but then we also have a growing number of clients asking for a fixed price. We basically, depending on the kind of level of the service they want, we adapt our offer to them. And up to now, they have got really a high ROI, return on investment, on their spend.
Can I have a quick question? So, if I understand correctly, you offer a similar service to SumoMe or Customer.io, where you have webhooks that appear on the website and offer discounts. And you're now telling me that you have a commission-based model for the hoteliers, where you take a commission. How long do you think it's going to take them to figure out these technologies and implement them? And why are you better than SumoMe or any others that exist that you pay £49 a month for?
Yeah, the kind of data we collect for allowing the customer to make rules, sophisticated rules, has nothing to do. Like, just to make you an example, you could say, if the customer visits my website the second time, so it's his second search, it's not the first one, it's second search, and he looks for 5 days, and he gets, and the check-in is on Sunday, and the checkout is on Thursday, and it's November, and it's from UK, and it's after 8 in the evening, when the travel agencies are closed, then I'll offer him 10% discount.
I can stack the technology, use mixed panel, segment, and SumoMe, and do exactly the same thing.
You don't get all the application of the code, like for instance. So it's automatic for them. So it's completely fit into the if you have three steps or 1 step or whatever, it's completely adaptable. In the other case, it is they have many similarities with us, but they don't understand in full the reservation system they are working. So there is a difference in the deep we can get.
You're doing the integration into the booking system, which is basically the segment integration where you need a developer and need your understanding. I understand. I feel that you have a very similar product that you're just specializing. Is it a proprietary technology, or are you using a third party and white labeling it?
Sorry?
Is it your own technology that you built to do this?
Yes.
Okay,
We have built from scratch, so we basically can integrate any reservation system, and we can really, with the new services that we have built, we can even go farther with the A/B test and all the services that we have.
Don't get me wrong, I think you have an amazing niche, and I think you should go for it, and I think it's really great. Mm-hmm. I just think there's other players out there that are doing similar. And
similar. Yeah. I'm pretty agree with you that they are similar, but they are not vertical, which is very different. Like also we give them consultancy and smart. So the kind of relationship that they can have with us and the fact that a hotel can receive suggestions like other hotels like yours are doing this and is working well.
Yeah.
It's different from when you talk to someone that sells, sellers of shoes or food or whatever. It's a different knowledge that we can get into the site, into the
analyzing the results of analytics and then performance. Yeah,
we are integrated also with analytics and so. Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Thank
all
you.
we have time for you, Francesco, I'm afraid, so thanks for that.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask Max Shepherd-Cross of Hotel Flex now to take to the stage.
Hi, good afternoon. Before I tell you about my business, I want to tell you a very brief story that I'm sure a lot of you in the audience will be able to identify with on one reason or another. About 6 months ago, I was working in the finance industry, and I used to travel a lot for work. And on one such trip, I was flying into Stockholm for a big pitch that was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But the only flight I could get in was at 7 a.m. that morning. So I arrived into Stockholm feeling pretty tired and agitated after not a lot of sleep. And all I wanted to do was go straight to my hotel, check in, shower, get changed, rest up for a few hours before heading off to my pitch feeling relatively refreshed. But I arrived to the hotel and I heard those horrible words in travel. Sorry, sir, check-in's not till 3 o'clock. So after a pretty frank discussion with the hotel manager, I ended up sitting in a cafe for the next 4 hours, getting changed in the bathroom, and it occurred to me that there simply must be a better way of doing this. So for the next week, when I got back to London, I went before work every morning at 5 a.m. down to Heathrow to speak to people coming off the red-eye flights. And I can tell you, that is a tough crowd. And the people that were kind enough to stop and speak to me, I asked, is this a problem that you associate with? Do you have this as well? And the vast majority of people said, absolutely. This is the bane of our traveling lives. So I went back to the office, quit my job, and founded Hotel Flex. Now, what is Hotel Flex? Hotel Flex is a online hotel booking platform that allows customers to uniquely choose exactly when they want to check in and check out of their room, rather than being bound by this 3 p.m. to 11 a.m. check-in, check-out schedule. And the guest simply pays a pro rata amount for the amount they use the room for. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of you out there asking, what sounds great for a traveler, but why on earth would a hotel agree to this? And that comes down to one key point, and that is the Americans. And let me show you what I mean by this. This is a breakdown of the 5 key feeder cities into London. And unsurprisingly, New York sends more travelers into London than any other city, by a factor of around about 50%. But what might surprise you is the amount of money they spend when they get here in hotels is 300% higher than the next competing city, and then about the same as the next 4 competing cities combined. The New Yorkers and US in general are integral to the success of the hotel market in London. But if you look at the arrival times of flights coming into London from New York, they're heavily stacked in the morning. So of the 123 flights a day that fly into Heathrow from JFK, nearly 30% arrive before 7 a.m., 55% arrive before 9 a.m., and 85% of your most valuable customer base arrive before 11 a.m., rendering the 3 p.m. check-in time completely redundant for them. These are the guys that we're going out there and targeting. And how are we doing that? With 3 broad strategies. Firstly, with an incredibly targeted digital media strategy that allows us to identify and target just the highest value frequent travelers coming from the US into the UK. Secondly, PR. We've expended a lot of time and resources getting into the, for our launch, getting into the mainstream media in the US and UK, and then finally with selected partnerships. For example, corporate travel booking systems that send thousands of travelers into London every year, and airlines as well. Hotel partners. We're currently in the process of curating a list of strictly 4- and 5-star hotels in central London alone. We've currently got 35 on board, and we hope to have 50 on board when we launch next month. Which brings me on to our business model. We simply charge 15% of the total value of that booking to the hotel. It's as straightforward as that. And the team, in order to do that, myself on the right-hand side, pre-beard, I co-founded the business with Pete in the middle, who was previously a software engineer at Triptease, and he was an entrepreneur first before that. And then we've recently been joined by Rich Turnbull, who is our front-end lead. Now, in order to summarize, we completely understand that this will not work for every single hotel 365 days a year. But on shoulder days and lower occupancy days, we think this is a fantastic opportunity for hotels to competitively differentiate themselves from other hotels, raising occupancy, but more importantly, getting a higher value and higher spending guest through their doors. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Max. Do we have any questions from the judges?
Yes, you heard the previous guys at BWake.
Yes.
What makes you so different?
The difference between us two is that they just do daytime bookings. We can process bookings overnight, 2 days, 3 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, for as long as you want. So we're going after your traditional hotel bookers, not the daytime crowd.
Andy, Carl?
And so you can do it by hours, Maxim, Recharge, are they all platforms that only do like hourly slots?
Yeah, we're not really going after the hourly-based customer. We're going after your traditional hotel guest that wants more flexibility around check-in and check-out times. So guys that are coming in from New York into London, they arrive at 6 a.m. and they've got this massive void of time, and what can they do until they can check in to 3 o'clock? Through us, they can simply say, right, I'll check in through 7 a.m. and then I'll stay for 4 nights. So it's a very different crowd that we're targeting.
I mean, I have the same problem with, again, hotels that are going to start doing it themselves at some point. Because if they see it working...
Absolutely. And to be quite honest, I really hope they do. I passionately believe that in 5 years' time, we will move away from the nightly hotel booking model to actually booking hotel rooms for the exact amount of time you need them. And in order to do that, we hope hotels see our success, integrate that model, and then we'll drive that forward.
Thank you for that. Max, if you'd like to take a seat now. Next up, we have a slight change of pace. We have Arti Tosun from Indie Guide, who's going to talk about his startup.
1 year ago, we were standing with eagle hunter Dalai Khan on the Altai Mountains of Western Mongolia. And what an incredible experience. And who would have thought that 1 year later, I'd be standing in front of you talking about our project. I'm Arti Tosun. After our wedding last year, my wife and I decided to quit our banking jobs in Switzerland and comfortable lives and visited my homeland, Kazakhstan, for the first time ever. And we traveled around Central Asia and Mongolia for 1 year. Nowadays, everyone is looking for a destination off the beaten track. Central Asia and Mongolia is a region 1.5 times larger than Europe and has so much to offer. Unspoiled nature, fascinating wildlife, magical Silk Road cities, and most of all, its heartwarming people. But still, many of us don't know much about this region. And we want to change that. Traveling to this region bears some challenges: the lack of tourism infrastructure, the lack of online information, and language barriers. Indie Guide is closing this gap. It's never been so easy to travel to Central Asia and Mongolia. Indie Guide is the first peer-to-peer travel marketplace for this region, and we connect travelers with local providers in 6 countries, including Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Mongolia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Indie Guide is also a valuable resource of information for travelers. For example, we have visa requirements for 193 nationalities, because for our market, visa is the most used keyword in Google. We also have an open blog where everyone can share their insights and experiences, and thereby we are generating valuable content, which is key for our SEO performance. We get a commission of 15% of a booking. Our average tour size is between 2 and 3 people, and the average tour volume is about $900 per person. We get our traffic mostly from search engines and social media. In October, last month, we had 12,000 visitors on the website, and in social media, we have 16,000 followers who are sharing and liking our content, with Instagram being the most successful channel for us. And we know that every paid click on our website is worth $4.5 US. And we've proven that it's working. In just a few months, we've built a profitable marketplace. And we already have about 1,000 offers like organized tours, drivers, accommodation, homestays, and personal guides. And so far, we had about 60 groups from 24 countries around the world, and the feedback show they've all enjoyed an authentic and local experience. Our vision is that IndyGuide becomes the best known and most useful resource for travelers. Our network of local providers will cover every village and every corner of this region. And we are still dreaming big. Maybe one day there will be IndyGuide camps for travelers and IndyGuide schools for future generation of guides all over Central Asia and Mongolia. And the best part for us, very soon we're going to be back in Central Asia, and we hope to see you there too one day. Thank you.
Thank you, Arti. Judges, do you have questions?
If all goes well, how much money can you make in 3 years' time?
I mean, there are about, right now, 1 million people traveling to our 6 countries, and this number is growing rapidly because it's getting more and more popular. And I mean, if you calculate this amount of travels with the $900 per tour per person and our commission, that's a few millions.
How do you deal with your suppliers? Because I'm guessing they don't all have internet, they might not even have a phone. How do you manage all that relation?
Surprisingly, most of them have internet because the internet availability is quite high. The connection is very cheap, and so most of them are online, and we're making them visible now, and we're bringing them new potential customers. We have just a few who are offline and who don't speak English, and that's we are managing their profiles for their requests. And if they get a request, like Daikan also did this September, we contact him by phone, discuss the tour, and get the booking for him.
I have another question. Do you keep the content for yourself, or do you actually aggregate it into Viator, Extra, whichever?
It's only on our website. We keep it for ourselves.
Okay. Great. Thanks for that, Arti.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have Yulia Mesheriakova from Planet Pass. Why is it all these entrepreneurs have these names? I don't know. But take to the stage. Thank you.
So, good evening, everyone. First of all, from all Planet Pass team, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to be here and to present our project. So I'm really nervous and excited at the same time because I'm replacing our CEO here, who was not able, unfortunately, to come. So I would really appreciate your support, not for me to die of heart attack during this 5-minute speech. So we really like this great saying in Planet Pass because it reflects the essence of experience we would like to gain while we are traveling to the most fantastic destinations. And because as well, if we look to the most fantastic and exciting travel memories, we will discover that they are mostly filled with warm smiles and great conversations. And we believe as well in Planet Pass that mankind still hasn't invented the better way to know the place than through personal touch and deep communication with people who really would like to share their knowledge and their passion. We call them guides, and this is what Planet Pass is about. So we are looking on the industry, on $200 billion travel industry that have revolutionized the way we travel within the last 10 years. So we get used not only to buy different kind of travel products online, but we get used to do it on demand. So within different segments, accommodation, hotels, taxi services. But what about the most important part of the experience related to the things that we're actually doing at the destination? Unfortunately, we still mainly a story for offline, different barcodes and papers, lack of flexibility, low penetration of technology, and this is what Planet Pass is challenging. So we are happy to introduce to you the first real on-demand app-based platform that helps travelers and guides to connect with each other in the real time and already in 1 hour after it to have the tour together. So how do we do that? It's really simple as grabbing a cab in London. So we have the application for the guides, we have the application for the travelers. So our guides are always online, ready to pick up the orders. Our unique matching algorithm chooses the best appropriate guide, and already in 1 hour, both parties enjoy the tour. Here in London, we use London as a starting playground. We are working only with professional blue and green badge guides who are still self-employed, and they are carefully vetted and trained by our in-house team. So another important know-how of Planet Pass is the system how we structure our inventory. The system is based on big data and machine learning algorithm, which helps us without losing the quality of experience to provide us with the maximum depth of inventory. And this is very important for us because it helps us to fulfill in the full scale the on-demand model. And now I believe that actions speak louder than words. That's why I really would like to present to you the real customer experience within our application. So we can see the list of tours here. It's really very simple to choose. We can see the summary of the tours and the itinerary of each particular tour. So it's very easy to choose the date and the time. Definitely we are more focused on the last minute, so it means that now it's approximately 6:30 and you can make the order for 7:30 and already enjoy the tour. So the registration procedure again is very quick and very simple. You can use the Facebook, for instance. So I'm talking quicker than the application is doing its job. So again, the payment procedure is very easy. We are working with one of the most reliable international players that is called Stripe. And now we are coming to the most important thing. Yeah, come on. So this is the most important screen, where we make the matching between the guide and the traveler. Usually it takes us from 1 to 5 minutes to match the guide. So the guide is here, and you can connect with the guide via our application. So in fact, currently we are presented in London. Next month we are going to have the launch in New York, and in the year 2017 we are planning to make the expansion to more than 20 cities. So you're more than welcome to download our application and to use it just right now. And if you download it just right now, I'm more than happy to share with you some incentives. Thank you so much.
Judges, any thoughts on this?
Yes. I guess the question here is, what makes you different from Scully and other guides that are already out there, and people who are already doing this? This doesn't seem to be very innovative because there are so many other people who are out there doing this today and in so many different ways. So what makes you different that would say why somebody would acquire your content and would download your app? Where are you going to get your customers from, and what makes you different?
So the most important thing is that we are really the first who are providing in the real time the opportunity to match the guides and the travelers. And everything is done via application. So it means that the traveler has the opportunity to book the same day, the same hour tour. And the guide has very simple and very, let's say, user-friendly platform which allows the guide to pick up the order immediately. And it's very valuable for both parties because, for instance, what guides are doing during the low seasons? They are selling themselves. What we are helping to do them is just to close their available time slots. And this is really very valuable for them. The same situation with the customers. If you are going to London or to other very busy city, so what you are doing, sometimes you have some impulse decisions and you haven't pre-booked anything and really everything is busy. So we allow customers to fill the closest time slots in the most, let's say, easy and quick way. Everything via application, without any barcodes, without any papers, callings, websiting, Googling, and so on.
Thank you. Any other questions? Last question.
Well, when I saw your app, how do you vest the guides? Can people rate the guide afterwards? How do you make sure that the guides are really good and provide the service that you're looking for? Because at the end of the day, you're selling under your own brand and umbrella, and it's going to affect you if there's a bad service.
So first of all, I would like to mention that all our guides, so before we agree to work with each particular guide, all the guides are carefully selected and vetted by our team, trained to make our tours, because in terms of the inventory approach, everything is done in-house. We have our own inventory team who's working and developing our tours. That's why we not have some people who are coming from the street. So all the people are pre-selected. And definitely, if we are talking about our matching algorithm, it is based as well on the rankings, both for the quality of the tours and the quality of the guides.
Okay. Great. Thank you for that, Yulia. If you want to take a seat now. I'm now just going to ask the judges to go off stage for a couple of minutes to think about what they've heard today. And I think you'll agree we've heard some really interesting ideas there, a wide range of ideas as well. And as I mentioned as well, we're going to have a little audience vote. So hopefully you've got your WTM London app now, because we're going to have a little poll on the screen. So the guys from Slido, if they're here, if they want to put that up on the screen. So we've only got 4 on there. So hopefully there's another one at the bottom. So if you can do your maths to take away from 100%, that will be Planet Pass at the bottom. So just to give you a recap of what they are. So BWake, that's a platform that allows business travelers and local customers to book daytime spaces in hotels to work, meet or relax for usage during the daytime. That was Jeremy Cattez who spoke to us about that. Bookling, Francesco spoke to us about Bookling. It helps hoteliers optimize their website sales by adding artificial intelligence to their websites and reservation systems in order to recover and persuade customers that abandon their websites without booking by getting personalized and smart promotions in real time. Max Shepherd-Cross from Hotel Flex. He was looking at the inflexibility of hotel check-in and check-out times and how he'd been to Heathrow speaking to those red-eye travelers about people who want to check into their hotel as soon as they've got off their flight from the US first thing in the morning. Next, we had Arti from IndieGuide, providing information and connection to the local tourism infrastructure in Central Asia and Mongolia, and enabling you to book local tours and activities in those regions. And then last but not least, we had Yulia speaking about Planet Pass, which I would dare to call a Uber of tours and activities here in London, allowing you to plan less and discover more during your trip in the most convenient way. So, have we all finished voting there? I think we have a clear winner. Okay, you can stop voting now. Okay, congratulations to BWake on the audience award. But I wonder if we can ask the judges to come back now and take their seats. As I said, the audience award doesn't have any... Timothy's found 5p to give to the winner. Maybe to the winner of the audience award if they haven't. So if we can turn to you quickly, Timothy, have you made a decision?
Yes, we have. It was an interesting group. We were a little bit perplexed by the difference between B-Wake and Hotel Flex, but then we kind of talked it through, and I think we kind of understand it. I think that we came to the point of there were two, and the two that we liked were Hotel Flex and IndieGuide. And I think in the end we decided that IndieGuide was more of a lifestyle business, and that they really know what they were going to do. They're very focused. They will achieve what they want to achieve because that's their business. I think that was true. So we believe that Hotel Flex, I think, is going to be the one that we would like to award the prize to.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to Max Shepherd-Cross for that, and for everybody for taking part today. I know it's really hard in this huge room to give those presentations, and also some great ideas, and I'm sure we're going to see some of those doing very well, even if they didn't win today. So I want to just thank my judges again, Timothy O'Neill-Dunn, Andy Owen-Jones, and Carl Pill, and of course to all the pitchers today. So thank you very much.